Hello and welcome back to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. Despite it being Saturday, unfortunately it is a solo night. Rootin, I hope you're having fun where you're at. And I won't give you too much shade because I am not going to be around for the entire month of September for reasons that I'm sure I'll expand upon later. However, that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today's scenario is one that has seen itself be reprinted multiple times, and unfortunately, multiple times by the same publisher. So be prepared for me to talk about that, at least for some specific reasons here. Namely, they don't need to be reprinted this much. But that aside, it is important to go over some of the details here, and we'll get into the complainy section of things later on. Um, this scenario is originally an ASL news scenario, but those scenarios were either purchased or acquired by Critical Hit, and Critical Hit has released it or re-released it multiple times at this point. Why, I couldn't tell you, but the important part is that it is an interesting scenario. It is also a very early scenario in terms of production-wise. ASL News was, I don't know if they were necessarily a front runner compared to some other groups, but they were rather, they're one of the earlier groups that created scenarios for ASL. Now, as mentioned, this scenario has been purchased and reprinted, etc., etc. I'm playing the Critical Hit number 107 version of this. My understanding is that ASL News has printed and reprinted this scenario once. So I think it's number 16 and 52, something along those lines. And then Critical Hit took the, I guess, upgraded version, and they've reprinted it twice since then. I don't know what the exact specifications are of the reprints. For all I know, or really bother with, they haven't been upgraded or touched at all. But again, hard to tell when I don't have all three versions in front of me at the same time. So, like the name might suggest, Tumult from the Clouds is a scenario that involves some aircraft. More specifically, it involves a lot of paratroopers, so we're going to have to explore those rules once more. The Germans will get some air support starting on turn 2 using the regular methods. We'll get into what the regular methods means. I believe I've spoken about air support before and their entry and all that, but it'll be turned down a little bit from some of the regular stuff that we've seen, at least recently. Additionally, all buildings are wooden on this specific map 14. Usually, the ones near the or right next to the airfield are all stone. And at the start, the Norwegians have pillboxes, and the pillboxes must be occupied. So you can't just have the pillboxes not do anything. Now, one important thing as well, and this is probably something that I'll just take the hip off of them, because you know that there's guys in there. So the airfield garrison, as it's called in this scenario, it's 6 squads. The squads have to be set up hip. They're all allowed to be hip, so it's a rather dangerous scenario for the Germans, depending on where they land, because you can just get wiped out real easily. Additionally, there are 2 pillboxes. The pillboxes do not set up hip, and there's some wire counters, and the wire counters also set up hip, because everything and everybody sets up hip. Normally, wire wouldn't set up hip, or you'd be able to see it at some point. But notably, the Germans start off board, so they also do not get any benefit of line of sight for that stuff. Now, despite it being a small board, the objective for this scenario is that they must control 2 pillboxes and all buildings adjacent to the runway hexes. So you know where the pillboxes are going to be regardless, and they need to control 5 buildings. It can be a tough ask, especially given the fact that It is an airdrop. Air paratrooper landings are, well, as as previously shown, can be rather dangerous, rather hazardous as well, depending on where you choose to land. Um, and hopefully, some options will allow the Germans to at least get a foothold first, before getting blasted. Looking at this scenario, it's not looking good so far for the Germans. Let me see if I can pull up all the versions here, and then we'll calculate what the stuff is here. So, if we're looking at the reprints, like I said, it came out as ASL News 16, ASL News 56. It was then taken by Critical Hit and printed as CH-107. And then on top of that, they reprinted it so that it was ASLN 16 and ASLN 56. So, yeah, just reprints for the sake of reprints. I don't believe that there's any major difference here. I'll see if I can glean anything off of the boards on different publications here. 14, 11 to 6, 11 to 6, board 14, and 11 to 6, board 14. Yeah, so I think, yeah, I don't know if there's any difference on the maps. Nope, none. So reprints kind of annoying because I don't think people need to have reprints on this, but whatever. There's a roar issue right off the bat that is incorrectly assigning the balance and who is winning versus who is defending. Hopefully, I might have to point that out to the ASL Scenario Archive owner again, because this seems pretty regular. Now, despite all that, I think it's important to point out that the Norwegians have apparently won all playings of this scenario. If anybody has played this and won as the Germans, they have not reported it either on Roar or either on the archive. So we'll see. Maybe I'll check to see what is the balance on this one before I go in. The balance for Norwegians is replace an 8-0 leader with a 9-1. I definitely don't think they need that. And the Germans is subtract 1 pillbox from total required to fulfill German objectives. You still need to control the buildings though. So maybe we'll go for that and we'll see how that affects things. And if I have time or whatever, I'll try to go after the second pillbox. I think that makes some sense to try and go for. All right, enough yapping about trying to do objectives and what the SSRs are. In this scenario, the Germans have 11 squads, 4 leaders, some LMGs, and a DM MMG. And they come in all in terms of a paradrop. So airdrops, I got to try and remember not to screw this up again, because we did, I'm pretty sure we messed this up last time, where the support counters were in the wrong spot. So let's go from the top, and then we'll go about this again. So airdrop. Paratroops can be dropped in a scenario only if the weather is clear, mud, mist, gusty, or snow, not falling snow. So a lot of, if there's heavy rain, anything like that, paratroopers cannot go through that. Seems strange, but whatever. I'm sure that paratroopers could in stormy weather, but it's just not great if you're being pushed around and all that. So maybe it's more for the wind stuff. Additionally, wind direction is established, even if there is no wind. Unfortunately, the critical hit did not provide that, so I'm going to have to determine that randomly. So let's get a counter out. It's a great start. In this counter, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll figure out what the distance or direction is. So it is pointing northwest, or sorry, up and to the left, which is southwest, according to this. Cool. So paratroops entering via airdrop are virtually helpless during and immediately after their descent, and consequently forfeit their normal capabilities during the player turn in which they are dropped. Exception: CC phase. Paratroops may not fire, move, advance, direct, assist, affect other units until they have removed their parachutes during their advance phase. Until then, each paratroop unit remains off board and is represented solely by the parachute counter with the ID that matches the cloaking box it is in. I'm not going to worry about that right now, just because, well, the Germans will. I'm playing both sides. All paratrooper forces to be dropped in the current player turn are divided into groups of 5 sticks called wings. Each stick is composed of one 5/8 inch parachute, or sorry, parachute counter, and up to 1/2 inch parachute counter. So we go to our counters. We get one large chute, one small chute. So only one wing in a player's turn. Player turn's airdrop can be composed of less than 5 sticks. Each stick consists of a maximum of 1 squad. So, again, get this correctly. There are 5 sticks in a wing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1. Viola. So each stick can consist of a maximum of 1 squad, or its equivalent, 1 SMC, and 1 separate support weapon. Now, by those rules, you can't have... Actually, each stick. So, sticks can be... You can have 5 sticks for a wing. So, I gotta split these out more. Huzzah, let's go. So each stick is composed of 1 5/8 and up to 1 half-quarter parachute, or half-inch, god dang, parachute counter. So each stick is composed of, so stick, clone, oops. Stick, and stick. And stick, you, huzzah, again, thank you, Viola. Yeah, so each stick can consist of a maximum 1 squad, 1 SMC, 1 separate thing. So let's do... This is kind of random because there's no real rhyme or reason that you can get with it, in my opinion. Somebody's going to die and drop their weapon, so you don't really have much in the way of like extra stuff that you can do. So each stick, blah blah blah. We've done the 1 squad, 1 SMC, and 1 separate support weapon. All personnel in a stick are represented by and dropped as an inherent part of that parachute. So essentially, you don't put both counters; you just mark them, right? I can link these. Sick. Okay. Let's see if we can link all of these guys. No. Cool. We'll get through this, everybody, I swear. Thankfully, I'm doing it this way. Although, honestly, probably the reason why you want to use cloaking boxes. Feels like it makes a lot more sense here. So, linked. And thankfully, once, these guys land and I just delete these, it's not going to leave lines all over the place, which is nice. Perfect. Then we'll take off our move. Okay. So, they are dropped as an inherent part of that parachute and have their identity as a component part of that parachute secretly recorded. The reason for this, for anybody who's curious, is because you don't want your opponent to know who to shoot at. Because obviously, if you can't do anything, if you can't respond while being paradropped, it's a little shitty if someone gets to just pick out all of your leaders, all of the guys with LMGs, all that stuff. So you would use this cloak encounter display, but again, not worried about it. Airdrop personnel and weapons do not take their actual counter form until their parachute is removed from play. Consequently, leaders have no leadership capabilities until they appear during the advance phase. All support weapons, including DM 72 or 76 to 82 millimeter mortars, can be dropped by parachute, but must be DM if possible. A support weapon, although part of its stick, is represented by a 1/2 inch parachute, which is placed on board above the stick's 5/8 parachute until drift is resolved. So, what does that mean? It means that we got to link some stuff here, and again, we only worry about it once stuff starts to land. The reason for this, if anybody is curious, is because most troops did not, at least in terms of the Germans as an example, they did not drop with like carrying their weapons. They had their weapons to the side. So the support weapons is a same idea. Is you typically have heavy machine guns, mortars, the larger mortars, etc. would be dropped separately, not carried by anybody. So you worry about the drift afterwards once they've dropped. Each support weapon remains in the cloaking box that matches its parachute ID until recovered. So again, you're not supposed to know who has what. A parachute serves only to mask their identity and provide a common morale level for its quote-unquote occupants. It does not render them concealed in any way. That's important to note because you don't get concealment penalties if you're shooting at them. Airdrop pieces cannot enter play concealed, cloaked, except possibly as a result of off-board landing. That's obviously, we'll get to that separately if that ever happens. Drop point. Prior to scenario setup, each wing secretly pre-designates a drop point in the form of a whole hex somewhere on the playing surface and the hex grain direction they will all share. So, for shits and giggles, I didn't do this, but I think it makes a lot of sense to have these guys try to land. Do I have a fire lane? Okay, cool. Try to have these guys land in the woods, or at least next to the woods, so I can get in there. So we'll do these 5. Do I want to try getting into the buildings? Not really. The problem with landing in the on or near buildings is that if you land on the building, you take some morale step losses, and yeah, that's just kind of dangerous. So I think what I might do I have to all go the same direction? Each wing secretly predesignates and the hex grain direction they will all share. Okay, so they all have to go the same direction, which makes sense because, again, landing people in different directions is very complicated and not advised, because if something goes wrong, then everybody is kind of screwing themselves up here. And then we'll have this guy be kind of unlucky and drop there. All right, so following setup during the rally phase of the entry player turn. So we'll say we're done here. We've got our setup. We've already designated where we want things to land. The guys on the right will land up front. The guys on the left will land down at the back. And then the lone guy over here will be in the all on his own. So there's a weather that we have to check. I almost got gusts. That would have sucked. Thankfully, it doesn't prevent airdrops, but it would have been worse for drift, I believe. So following setup during the rally phase of the entry player turn, the attacker makes a die roll for each wing. So we'll do for the guys on the right, single die. If the die roll is a 1 to 3, the pre-designated drop point is used. If the die roll is 4 to 6, the final drop point is determined by random selection to determine the board, and re-rolling any ties, and the drift placement procedure is used to determine the drop point on or near that board. So we'll do the second group. What is their die roll? It is a 6, so they will have to drift. So if I have... Do I have a counter for this? You know what? I'm going to put the snow drift on there so I don't forget. And then the last guy in his solitary group will also drift. I am not getting lucky here. So it's determined by random selection, and the drift placement procedure is used to determine the drop point on or near that board. Now I don't have a second board, so they'll drop on 14 regardless, but I do have to look at E 3.75. So drifts. So we've already done drifts before in terms of the snow stuff, and we got to do our drift mechanic. All right, where is our thing? Drift randomly a drift counter from the complete pool of remaining unused counters and initially putting it in the hex containing coordinate number 5. So we need to use our handy dandy 1 through GG. S is not part of it. Gotta go again. G. So our drift will take place in G5. And then a random location die roll to determine the hex where the drift will be permanently placed. So random 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go down here, which means these guys all land like this. Similarly, the next drift guy, I actually don't know. I'm gonna have to. We'll double check this because I don't know if it starts at the first guy or whatever, but we'll figure that out. And then this drift, we'll get a chit out. W isn't in play. A is in play, so it's A5. And then I'm very lucky, but that is going to overlap on another one. So I don't know how that's going to help or hurt here. Go back to paratrooper landings. All right. So in the drop point, so with the drop points of all wings thus determined, each wing places a stick on the drop point and then places 2 sticks on each side of that drop point along the same hex grain so that there is an uninterrupted line of parachutes 5 hexes long for each wing with the drop point in the center of that line. So if that guy's drop point was G6, that means that unfortunately I need, we'll just do this in order because whatever. I have to have it be like this. These two. Whatever. It's not gonna matter. There. Cool. Then we can do this, that, the other thing, huzzah, viola, and this last guy there. Take off a residual. Cool. Yeah, hex screen must run parallel, etc. Yada. So as our rally phase done, there's no prep fire because nobody is able to shoot. Excuse me. So we go to movement phase. Now we determine drift. All sticks are subject to drift during the movement phase after all ground units have completed their move phase, even if there's no wind. So basically, if there were ground units, I would move them. I don't, so the paratroopers always land last. So even if there's no wind, we still do drift. This is done by making a random location die roll for each parachute. The Germans have the white die roll fraction rounded up, while Russians increase it by 50% fractions rounded down prior to any wind adjustment. All personnel on the same stick drift together, so a leader, an SMC with a squad will both land in the same area, essentially. And then each aerial support weapon takes its own drift die roll and drifts separately. This is different if you're British, and paratroopers have, the US paratroopers have some different stuff. Each parachute's drift is then adjusted for wind, if any, direction and strength by being moved 2 hexes directly downwind for a mild breeze, 3 during gusts, and 4 during heavy winds. Now there's no breeze, there's no gusts, there's no anything. So we'll do a random location die roll for each parachute, and then we'll do the halving. Excuse me, for the Germans. So L4, we'll do 1, 2. Actually, I'm just gonna down 2, because the white die roll, which is the distance, is halved, and then fraction rounded up. So that guy is going to be landing in wire. That sucks. K4, 3 goes 1. I don't have anything else with them. J3 is going to go 2 in here. Now, the support weapon, again, takes its own drift and drifts separately. So he will go there. I3 will do 5/5, so 2 hexes. And then H2, the main group, will go up 1, and the weapon will go to I2. That's them done. We go to I7, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3. That's not going to be great. H6, 2. G6 goes up 1. F5, 2, because it's fractions rounded up. Did I do that for another one? I forget if I had another 3 here. And I only moved it 1. I might have 2, these 2, that I was supposed to do a different way. I want to say this guy might have had to go 2, so I'll put him 2. It only hurts the Germans more by being that more spread out, but I figure that's the only way to be honest with myself here. 4, 5, that's 2.5 rounded up again. Thinking about that now. You go there. And then this last guy, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is not great. Or at least does not feel great. But we'll know more once all the parachutes become known here. So we've done all the drifts. There's no extra for wind direction because there's no wind. Now, after all the drift on parachutes has been resolved, we've done that, the defender may use defensive first fire and subsequent first fire versus them, even if they have drifted off board. Aerial paratroopers are subject to hazardous movement DRM and can never claim height advantage. This is very important because if we look at hazardous movement, they have a -2 to their shots. And if that's, not immediately clear, -2 is bad. They can't claim height advantage or TEM or concealment or any hindrance other than LV or smoke. There's no LV or smoke, so nothing to worry about. Hazardous movement DRM even apply to an attack only on an aerial support weapon in an attempt to destroy malfunction it, although such attacks will usually be caused by mistaken identity due to random selection. Although all area paratroopers are considered moving simultaneously, first fire and subsequent first fire versus them can affect the contents of only one, barring a random selection tie-die roll. Aerial parachutes, regardless of the number of them in a hex, no aerial target can be attacked twice in the same hex by the same firer. So you can't just multiple attack and completely waste groups. Nor does fire versus aerial targets leave residual firepower. While represented by a parachute counter, paratroopers do not take contest checks and are not subject to pin or heat of battle results. We've got LOS, which we talk about in terms of blind hexes. A unit has an LOS to aerial paratroopers unless it is in a blind hex created by a full level obstacle adjacent to the unit, between it and the parachute, or is in a pillbox. So pillbox troops cannot shoot at our paratroopers, or has insufficient night vision range, or encounters a combination of smoke LVA hindrances that would be 6 or greater. Only small arms and light AA weapons can defensive fire, so regular spore weapons and all that sort of stuff. No to hit, die roll, sniper attack, or fire lane is allowed versus aerial targets. Paratrooper gliders, snipers may not attack until game turn their side starts with friendly on board. Now, for whatever reason, there's no sniper dictated in this scenario. I don't think it has in any sniper. I don't think any of the versions have a sniper. But we can worry about that later as well. Especially since it's not really going to come up. I can't imagine it'll be that critical. So when a stick takes a morale or task check, it does so for all its personnel contents, and they all pass or fail based on a single morale check die roll, regardless of the number of component units. So if you have 2 half squads and a leader, it doesn't matter. They all take 1 check. So in this case, there is sometimes some worth in not splitting paratroopers, because splitting them up might reduce their morale. The entire stick checks morale based on a morale level of 7, which is on the parachute. Whether broken or not, represent a broken stick by flipping the contents of the appropriate cloaking board to their broken sides and placing a DM counter in the cloaking box. If a stick suffers a casualty reduction or ELR failure, a random selection is used to determine which inherent crew, half squad, and single man counter has been eliminated, wounded, or replaced. I don't know why it says inherent crew half squad rather than saying full squad, but whatever. Any remaining components of that stick pass or fail their MC uniformly using the morale level 7. So there's no, you don't end up splitting every group or whatever, or at least not as far as I'm aware. And then we'll do landing and stuff afterwards. So, shooting at paratroopers. Well, I do have a couple that I would like to do. So we're going to reveal the guys on I-9. And by reveal, I mean keep them concealed. And they're going to shoot at the guys next to them. So they are falling. It's a -2 DRM. I don't believe there's any other modifiers because they're not considered, open, first fire, open ground, all that sort of stuff. And they are adjacent, so it is a 16 firepower down 2. They will cower, which is not great because that's going to final fire them. But it is a really good number regardless. So 4 on 12 is a 3 morale check. And those guys don't pin, which is insane. So that guy passes. That's not good. So let's reveal these guys and see if I can get something out of them. 8 down 2. Okay. Do I subsequent? I don't. Can't be attacked. No arrow by the same fire. Yeah, so I can't even attack him a second time. You know what? Since I'm already in a bad spot here, I'm gonna try a 4 down 2. Okay. And then the guys in the building here are going to reveal, and I'm going to try a 16 down 2 against the guys adjacent to them. Now that does not cower them, which is nice, but that is a down 2. So we're looking at 5 on 16, which is a 3 morale check, and they will not pass. So their contents are going to flip and break. Is there anything else? The guys in the build box can't shoot. We've determined that, so I need to make sure I'm not messing around with that too much. They are flipped in the appropriate cloaking box, and nobody has suffered any casualty reduction or ELR failure, because the ELRs are 3 and 2, 3 for the Germans. And then, yeah, don't have to do any random selection or nonsense. So, landing. After all defensive fire, subsequent first fire versus aerial paratroopers has ended, unbroken aerial paratroopers, not separate support weapons, may move 1 hex in any direction. All parachutes then land at the base level of the current hex. So I get to move some guys around here. Now, I don't know when wire would show. I technically don't have people on board, so I don't know if I can claim that as like a free option here. I don't want this guy to land in the building, and I might as well not toss him in the same hex as somebody else. So I'm going to move him 1 hex to K5, I suppose. Actually, you know what? L4, because if they break, I have M4 and all that. These guys are going to move 1 hex to M3, just to get them closer to the action. I don't want these guys in the woods, and I might as well keep them in some safety, so they'll go to I1. This guy's not in a building. This guy's not going to hit a building, so let's get him closer. This guy can stay where he is. We'll have this guy land there to be adjacent to D5. And at worst, he gets to go around. Um, I've been shot by this guy, so my thinking here would be I either go to H7 or I go to G9. I think G9 is more desirable because I can get to H10 or I can route to C8, but also I can get into H9 rather quickly. These guys are going to pull back one each. I could send these guys to G3, but I think I'll keep them. Actually, you know what? I forget if I can advance. I'll just leave them in F3, whatever. And I believe so. L6. L6 is a really big question here that I dislike. I think the idea here that I want is I'll get them in M6. I know with the wire, this is why it's annoying to play against myself, because you know things when you know should you, shouldn't you, etc. But the important part here for L6 to M6 is that with the guy in L4, I can at least form some sort of fire group, or not fire group, but I can at least do something against the guy in L5. Whereas if I keep him in L6, go to K7 or M7, or hell, even K6. K6 isn't desirable just because he's out in the open, like really out in the open for everybody. But yeah, if I go to M7, L6, or K7, I'm really gonna get blasted by these two guys, and that's not really what I'm looking to do right now. So I think that's the justifications I want to give for people here. I can't do the containers because they don't have people in them, so they can't redirect their stuff. Oh, and of course, I'm learning. I just noticed exception Germans. Well, let's move everybody back here. I don't think it's the end of the world, but it is a bummer. There we go. Cool. This is why having vassals is cool, because you get to read or undo errors, not redo errors. So all parachutes land at the base level of the current hex, at which point 5/8 parachutes may become known enemy units. There's no bridges to worry about, so we don't have to worry about that stuff. And then interior building hexes is different. We don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Units and support weapons landing in a blaze, non-frozen water obstacle, deep flooded stream are eliminated. We have none of those, which is great. And then all half-inch parachutes are then flipped over. Thereafter, neither player may check the identity until they have been picked up. Now, the only reason I'm not doing any of the extra stuff here is because this next part is going to be interesting or important, and I remember this from last time. So injuries: a 5/8 parachute landing in a wood, forest road, crag, building, shallow stream, cactus hedge, cactus patch, olive grove, or jungle, bamboo, swamp, irrigated rice paddies, or marsh must take an immediate normal task check, unmodified, using the 7 morale of their parachute. Half-inch parachutes must also take a normal morale check, morale of 7, when it lands in dense jungle or swamp or pansies. Nobody is landing in an interior building hex, which is lovely for me. And then don't have to worry about the extra stuff in there. Yeah, so as they land in the woods, etc., they take a task check. So H0, morale check, they're fine. I'm going to mark them moved so I don't confuse this. L2, morale check, they're fine. Okay. Oh, sorry, they're not in the woods, so I will use that for the next guy, which is him, because I'm going in this direction. What's the next one? I think... did I not have anybody else on a building? Huh. Okay. Was there anything about wire? No. Alright. All other 5/8 parachutes must take an immediate normal task check upon landing, still using 7 morale even if broken. A stick that fails its normal task check automatically deploys into its component support half squads. and then they could potentially be split. So we do the normal task checks now. Because it says all other, so presumably the ones that took the morale checks do not do any extra splitting. So L2 task check, he's fine. Markham is moved. M5 takes a task check. They are not fine. So they deploy. So we got to do this and this. So random selection. So top bottom is who the leader is going to be joining. So random selection top bottom. So the top guy, and then random selection on who moves. Top guy. So does the top guy is moved to the next hex directly downwind. So this is why you need to know if there's wind in the direction. Wind is to the top left, so that guy will essentially go there. Actually, I can probably start putting these on here because they become known enemy or known units. So this will just place hidden, so I don't have to worry about it. So this guy comes in there. That's, yeah, this. Huzzah. This guy shows up. This guy took his task check, or his morale check, so he's fine. Should probably... Oh, that was those guys? Okay. This guy, L6, task check. He's fine. So he doesn't deploy. I'm going to start revealing these. Speaking of H8, he is deployed. I don't know how this will work for wire, but presumably that guy, one guy is now out of wire. Yeah, don't need to worry about anything else. Cool. G4, task check. They are fine. And they are going to land in open ground. G5 is fine. Getting kind of lucky here with leaders. F5, task check. He is split. So split that up. One lands on the pillbox, which is nice for me because I don't have to worry about that necessarily anyways. This gets hidden. B6. B6 is split. So they also have some shenanigans going on here. And then lastly, D6 is also split. Cool. Okay, that's all my counters. Cool. So let's keep reading just to make sure we haven't mucked anything up. So a stick that fails its normal task check automatically deploys, and you randomly determine if there's yeah, can you do ties? No. So one... Yeah, I don't think you can do ties. So one of them has to be placed in a different hex. But no matter what, you don't take an extra morale check. You don't do an extra task check. It's eliminated if it's in water and blazes. Level of the landing morale check, task check is required is increased by 1 if the unit lands during a mild breeze, or 2 if it lands during a heavy wind gust. I'm not doing that, so don't have to worry about it. So after all landing die rolls have been resolved, paratroopers are subject to final fire using normal LOS and fire rules versus ground targets. So if you're not already final fired, actually, you know what? Everybody can. I don't think you don't have to worry about it because it's final protection fire, I believe. Actually, it just says final fire, which is interesting because does it not... Would it not be final protective? Oh, you know what? Right, it's because it's final protection fire if you're already final fired. But otherwise, no. Any paratroopers in the same location with enemy infantry must be attacked by those units using triple point blank fire. Even if the paratroopers are already broken, disrupted, mark the survivors with the CC counter. Broken defender units may rout from that hex during the rout phase because they have not yet engaged in CC. So, we've done all this. Let's continue. Okay. So, final fire. So it's normal LOS and ground and fire rules versus ground targets. So I don't think it's worthwhile to have this guy shoot again because he'll probably just break himself or whatever. But I am going to shoot the guys in L7 against the guys on the wire. Now, because they're on wire, they might have some problems here. Yeah, they don't have any TM or anything. Although, that being said, I do need to try and remember if an airfield runway, that's what it is. Yeah, so there's a -1 TEM against them because it's regardless of fire phase. So L7 will shoot. It is not triple point bank fire. It's just doubled halved. So it's a 4 firepower increased to 8, halved down to 4, -1. The leader is directing, but there's nothing to it. So it's a normal morale check. These guys will break, so that sucks. The guys in L5 have to shoot in their own hex, so they are tripled to 24, and then it's halved for because they've shot before. There's no minus, though I do think that they get TEM. I'm not 100% sure about how that works. I'm going to assume they get TEM because they've landed in the hex, and I don't think you count as not getting the benefit. Let's double check to make sure there's anything in case I'm missing anything here. It just says in the same location must use triple point blank fire. Yeah, I don't think. I think they get the extra the +2. So that is a 12. It's a 7. It's a 9 on 12, which is a normal morale check. So leader first. Leader's fine. Squad is also fine. That is a bummer. And then we'll mark them as CC. Next up, I will have, these guys will ditch their concealment in P5, and they will shoot at the guys in M5. So it's nominally it's a 4 flat. Okay, never mind. I'm just glad that wasn't these guys to break their machine gun. Same thing over here. E5 is going to shoot at the guys in F5 because I'm not pointing towards these guys, which I'm realizing I don't know if that's necessarily a mistake on my part. I don't think I really had too many options for this. So they are shooting at the half squad. It's a 8 flat, I believe. It should be a 1 check, and they are fine. Damn it. Okay. I'm going to have a hard time with the Norwegians here. Is there anybody else that wants to shoot? I'm going to say no. Because again, I really don't want to risk this guy breaking himself, and certainly not the MMG. The half squad is going to have to get under the wire anyways, so there's a good chance that they'll, not have to worry about anything. Okay, and then what do we got here? Oh, right, and it didn't. You know what? I wonder if that came in afterwards. Unused acquisition system counter gives the. Okay, why would they not indicate that? I really wonder if that's a rule that came in later. Well, we can figure it out afterwards. Oops, sorry about that. There's no other shots. So once all the shooting is done, we go to advanced fire phase and the rout phase. So, huzzah. In the player turn they land, paratroopers may not attack or rout and are not subject to rout rules, including surrender and failure to rout. So we don't worry about those two phases. Advances. Paratroopers may not advance during the advance phase. Instead, all, exception those that have already deployed, just dropped 5/8 inch parachutes are removed and their components are placed on board with their normal capabilities restored. Prior to this, a Stick's inherent leader who was eliminated. Broken did not cause leader loss morale check, leader loss task check, and all its contents were considered broken for LOS purposes. So yeah, I guess like technically you wouldn't know until whatever, blah blah blah. So lastly, there's a thing here that says pre 1942 German paradrops. So I guess I can just make a bunch of acquisition counters here, maybe. Where are acquisition counters? I really wish some of this stuff for paratroopers was worded or written differently, because while I understand there's the stuff for pre 1942 paratroopers, again, I really wish that that was written so that you can like know that. So here's basically what they're talking about here. So um, I'm going to make a bunch of cloned ones, and then we'll do a bunch of full guys here. So we're just going to do this, and that way everybody that moves with them, we know who is what. Those guys, technically same idea here. So huzzah. So yeah, like I said, I kind of wish some of this stuff was written before, because otherwise you end up with this where you do all your changes, you have all your counters on the board, and then you then remember that actually you have different guys doing different things with different values, and it's kind of it's a little annoying. You're a broken gentleman, and I've got you, and you. These two guys. Take off for defensive. And I think I've covered everybody, both in terms of like broken units, halved units, reduced power units, etc., etc., etc. So I'm just going to delete these. I think I'm done for now, thankfully. And then we can go to our regularly scheduled stuff. So basically, if it's pre-1942, the paratroopers are partially armed. They normally you would put acquisition counters on them if you don't need the acquisition counters, but I forget which module has them, but you can just, there are the counters for them as shown. So 228s if it's a full squad, 128s if they're half squad. And crews also have a thing, but we don't need to worry about it. Then, at the end of every friendly movement phase in which a good order partially armed German MMC moves to another hex, it may attempt to locate its arms canister by making a DR of 1 or less. And then you get a -1 for every different hex entered during that movement phase. If you succeed, it just means that it becomes a 548, and if it doesn't, it just retains its normal status. Obviously, half squads become, the half squad version and all that sort of stuff. Cool. All right. Whew. All that, we are now done with the German paratroopers on turn 1. We don't have to friggin' worry about all of the rules that dictate their actions and all that sort of stuff. We are in the clear, which is really great because once the paratroopers are done, that's kind of like all of the headache there. You don't really have to worry about anything else. However, that being said, there are some things that we can do here. In the CC phase, there are 2 CCs going on, although I may choose not to do one because of my decreased value here. So in the CC phase, where is close combat? In the close combat, I'm not sure if you can decline with one side. Let's see what we got here. So I have two CCs. There's one that I am going to go for. It's a 1 to 2 down 1 as the Germans. There shouldn't be any numbers or any extra values or ambush or anything to the one in L5 just because I will not get anything. And then the 1 to 1, there will also not be anything. So that becomes a melee, which not that great. Over here with the pillbox, I'm actually not sure. I'm pretty sure both sides can declare for something here. Pillbox, pillbox, pillbox. Yeah. So the guy in the pillbox hex is kind of unlucky. I don't think I can get out of the requirement to fight, and there's no reason why the Polish unit wouldn't fight because it's 4 to 1. I just don't think I can withdraw because I'm not in melee. So I'm really just stuck with that guy. So I will do the 1 to 4. It was a nice attempt. It didn't get anything out of it because I would have needed a 3. So I was really close, which is unfortunate. I don't think there's any modifier for being in a pillbox. They weren't pinned or anything either. So I'll check to see if there's anything here, but I would be really surprised if there was anything for pillboxes because I don't see it written anywhere. And again, it would be it seems to me like it would be very, very weird for there to be that. Yeah, there's one for ambush, which obviously, but yeah. Okay, so I don't have to necessarily worry about this. Now, troops that are in CC don't go into melee because they don't do hand to hand. Or is it just that they can't go hand to hand? Yeah, I'm going to mark it as melee. So let's see what we got here. Withdrawing from... Oh, you can withdraw in CC. I thought you weren't allowed to. Maybe I'll end up trying to do that next time. Also, I need to check the 4 to 1. 4 to 1 is a 9, so I don't have to worry about it anyways, because I rolled an 8, I'm pretty sure. I did. So, this guy is now dead. So I don't have to worry about it after all, which, all things told, that's actually not the worst losses. Only 1 unit and some broken guys is pretty dang neat. We'll go to the next turn, finally. Weather, no change. Rally phase. There are some rallies to attempt with the Germans. I don't think there's any broken units otherwise, so the units in M5 leader will attempt and will not get it, and then they'll retain DM because they're adjacent to some enemy units. I don't have to worry about hazardous movement anymore. We go into prep fire. Now I really don't want any troops next to me because that's always a liability. So the machine gun and squad are going to shoot at the guy adjacent. Yeah, they're probably screwed. They are on a runway, so they get a -1. So this is 4 on 16, which is a K3. So this guy is kaput, as they say. I don't... Did I get him? I did get rate of fire. So I will then shoot 4 firepower against the guy in G8. Ouch. 4 on 4 is a 1 morale check. They are broken. So we'll just flip that guy too. So they are broken. I did not get... Ooh, I did get rate of fire. You know what? Another 4 firepower. Pintash check. I got rate. Might as well shoot again. And another 7. So no. Oops. Not what I want to do. I want that. What else? What else? What else? What else? The guy in the pillbox in E5 only really has 1 target. So they will shoot 8. That is nothing, which sucks. So they will be marked prepped. The guy in the other pillbox in P5 will shoot at the broken guys again because why not? That's a 6 on 4 is a normal morale check. So leader first is fine. And the half squad will be eliminated. Which is kind of a bummer. Actually, I need to do this. There we go. Kind of a bummer, but I'm glad that the leader survived. And, you know what? This squad in K8 will take a 4 firepower shot against the broken leader. It won't happen. And then the guys in L7 will shoot adjacent to themselves to the guys in the woods, or woods, wire. And that is a 7 on 8. Actually, it's a 6 on 8, which should be a 1 morale check at the very least. And they are halved as a result. This guy is halved. And, yeah, it should be flipped. Cool. So that's all the shots. I really don't have any reason to move in this scenario as the Norwegians, although there is some value in the guy in E5 getting out and going into, say, the building adjacent to him. Same thing with the guy in P5. In fact, I might get the guy in P5 to stay there, but E5, I think it's kind of a. I know I only need to control one, but I don't know if that guy can survive considering where he's pointed at. But I don't have anybody to shoot with, so defensive fire phase, we can try some shenanigans here. And by try some shenanigans, I mean a 2-up-3. Nope. But gotta try attempt some stuff here. I feel like I need a page to stay open on every friendly movement phase. Okay, cool. That sucks. Defensive fire phase, I don't have any other shots realistically. Everybody else is gonna get a +5, which I don't think I can bust. And everybody else is either too far away or broken and won't be able to get anything. So advanced fire phase, none, because again everybody's shot, and nobody moved. So we go to routes. In the route phase, I don't know if these guys will be able to do anything, and they're kind of just stuck where they're at. So these guys actually become prisoners. Oops. These guys will become prisoners. I don't know if... yeah, I'm just going to mark them as prisoners. I could also just not accept them, and there is a question there as to whether or not I do that. I don't know if there's a strong enough opinion either way. If you don't accept prisoners, you go into no quarter. Does no quarter really affect the Norwegians? Is that something that they would do? I think they would accept prisoners. I feel like that's logical enough to assume. So I'm gonna give them prisoners, and then we'll figure it out from there. You know what? I'll give the prisoners to the leader too, because I don't want the squad to be burdened with that. Other routes, we've got these two guys. They're both going to route into the woods, and I will get them. Actually, I think that guy can only go to M4 because then I think he's getting closer. And the same thing with the guy in L3. I think they both have to route up one. There's one other broken unit, which is true. I forgot about him. He is going to low crawl into F8 because he can't do anything else, and he can't be captured because he's not adjacent to anybody. So he does technically have an eventual path to B8, but yeah. So that's it for routes. Advances. There's no advances to really be done with the Norwegians. I guess, not technically true. I'm going to have the Norwegian MMG and I9 go to H9. The reason for this is I can cover these hedges a lot better by being in that hex. Yeah, I think it's just better. And if they try to get into I9, they still have to go around some units. This guy's covering it, that sort of thing. So I think that's worthwhile. There's no other advances, because again, there's no other need for advances. The only thing I can consider is K8 going to I7. I can't do it in a single turn anyways. And I might do it on turn 2 for the Norwegians. That's probably about it. And if I don't get into I7, or if something happens in J7, then I'm just calling it quits, and I won't go for I7 at all. So yeah, CC phase, we only have the one surviving one. So 1 to 2 for, or sorry, 1 to 1 for the Norwegians. They won't get anything out of it. And then a 1 to 2 down 1 for the Germans. They will not be successful either. We go to turn 2, And now we get the an interesting thing here. So I mentioned before there's air support that will come in for the Germans, and the air support comes in quote unquote the regular way. Now, what does that mean? Regularly or normally, arrival of aircraft is not dictated by the scenario. Some scenarios obviously say like on turn 2 they come in, etc. They say like automatically comes in, but if it doesn't say automatically, you have to do the rolling process. What this means is at the start of turn 2, in this case, you would roll one die roll, and if you get less than the current turn, you get air support. I rolled a 5, 3 above, I will not get air support. The air support in this scenario is 2 Fighter Bombers. I believe they're 1940, or are they 1939? It just says 2 fighter bombers in the critical hit scenario, which is great. Thank you. Really, guys? ASL News only says 2 fighter bombers, doesn't state the year? Well, presumably it is the 39 because there's no 1940s. So, sadly, they do not have bombs, but 2 rate of fire, 6 firepower machine guns, something. It won't say no to it. So yeah. So they won't enter this turn. Bummer. We go to weather, which I did not do. Won't get it. And then we do rallies. So in the rally phase, there are 3 broken units. I don't care to rally the guy in F8. I'd rather do the guy in L3. So he's my self-rally attempt. It won't work. And then my leader dies. Well, it was an 8-0, so not a big loss, I guess. Big sigh. This guy's DM stays on because he's in open ground next to a machine gun. And we will go to prep fire phase. In the prep fire phase, I have no shots I want to do. I think that would be kind of insane to do that specifically. Yeah. So I will go for movement phase. And then movement phase, we're going to do all these shenanigans to try and get their guys their weapons back. So what do I mean by that? Again, we go to pre-1942. So at the end of every friendly movement phase in which a good order partially armed German MMC moves to another hex, it may attempt to locate an arms canister by making a die roll of 1 or less. And then they get a -1 for each hex they entered during that movement phase, and they get a +1 if they're CX'd. So essentially, we're going to try and do this simple here. I want this guy in H0 is going to go 1, 2, and then 3. I will mark him with 3. Do I want to shoot anybody at him? No. Then L2 will move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. I don't know why I wrote ELR there. 4. And this is just so I can do the numbers afterwards. These paratroopers will go to F4. Now I have a big dilemma here because I could shoot at anybody. This bunker pillbox can't see anybody really from where he's at. This is a plowed field, so that's 1.5, I believe, which is unfortunate. And I don't think I want to shoot them specifically because he's just a half squad, so he'll go there. I don't think anybody else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have any threats up above, so you know what? Yeah, squad 457 will shoot. It's long range, so it's a 2 down 2. So 3 on 2 is probably a 1 check. Yeah, 3 on 2, 1 check. They will break. So this guy breaks. This guy is fired. Yeah, that's it. There's a 1 residual. Okay, bummer, but not the end of the world, I suppose. Okay, how am I gonna do this? This is Okay. Okay. How do I do this? So, 9-1 is going to normal move into G3. Do I CX him? I might have to. If I CX him... Okay, I'm going to CX him. I'm going to go to H3. This is probably going to kill him. And the MMG over here is going to attack because it's a really juiced target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a 6 down 2. It is ready to fire, and that is down 2. So it's a 5 on 6, which is a 1 morale check. He's fine. I do have rate of fire. Excuse me. So we're going to mark that. I could really use or want that guy to die. So, 2 down 2. 5 on 2, normal. He's fine. This guy's already shot, and this guy wouldn't get any bonuses. So, yeah, I think I might have to begrudgingly let him get into another hex. I don't think I have LOS from H9 to I3, but I'm going to try... actually, no, I can't do that because there's no guys closer now. So, yeah, I can't do that. So, this guy gets the I3 for 2, 3, 5. Oh, I guess I didn't need to... Okay, so he gets there for 5. He's not CX'd. I thought I would need more. Wait, whatever. I declared it. Okay. So he gets there. That's fine. Paratroopers in G4 are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. The leader is going to declare CX. His squad is fine. They're not going to. They go to G4 for 1. I don't think I can shoot them with anybody other than this guy. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? Shits and giggles. 2 down 2, is it? Is there any... Yeah, it's 2 down 2. Okay, well, it's a 1 check. So, leader is pinned. God damn it. And the squad is fine. The squad did not declare CX. I wanted that leader to go and get these guys all assembled again. So that's 2, 3, 4. And again, I'm doing this because I need them to get access to better weapons, realistically. These guys should all be safe. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think this guy can see him because I'm not going down this line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, bypass 3, 4. And then 1, 2, bypass 4. At worst, I'll be able to swamp this guy, maybe, with some guys. It's about the only way I can think about it. This guy is shot. Yeah. I guess technically I didn't have a restriction on the 4. So 4 against the leader. Down 2. 2 morale check. He would have been pinned there. Damn. Alright, whatever. They're first fired. Cool. I really wish my leaders wouldn't pin so frequently. Okay. So, that's it for movement phase. Now I gotta do a bunch of rolls for movement phase shenanigans, which is a bit unfortunate. I also need to refresh my memory here on the support weapons. Now I believe it's supposed to say here, so where does it say for the support weapons? If I do this, does it mark them? No, damn it. Yada, yada, yada. If I just write support weapon. There we go. Offboard. All half-inch parachutes are then flipped over. Thereafter, neither player may check the identity. So I think you can just get it by regular recovery. I should be able to pick him up in the advanced phase, essentially. And if not, the rally phase. Sport weapon recovery. Let's see if I'm BSing on the recovery here. On the advanced phase. I would imagine. I'm surprised you wouldn't be able to. But I guess not. Yeah, rally phase or movement phase. All right, cool. Kind of a shame you can't do it in advanced phase when it's parachutes. So, yeah, and this guy, I wouldn't be able to get anything else out of it because of the... I guess, like, what if I did... No, because that would be 5. Okay, so now to start doing rolls on units so I can pick up weapons and things. So, I have 2. That is a -3. It is equal to 1. These guys come back. These guys are full power. These guys over here, -4. They are now full power. Oops, I don't know why I keep doing this. There. Ooh, I'm going to have that as a very interesting question. Okay, yada yada. These don't have numbers. These guys are broken. Can you recover if you're broken? Probably not. That would make no sense. Good order. All right. First guy over here, -4. He will not get it. That's a god dang shame. Next guy, -4. He will absolutely get it. That's a not crying shame. Next up, we've got these 4 guys. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody comes back as their main guy, which is great. And yeah, good order. Melee isn't good order, so can't pick it up, can't do anything with them. That should be it for movement phase. So defensive fire phase, I don't have anybody that can shoot outside of this guy, so I will take a 4. No, doesn't matter. And yeah, take off residuals here. Yeah, advanced fire phase, I don't think I have any. I mean, I could technically do with these guys. It'd be a 2 firepower plus, what is that? 5, 6, so 8 firepower up 5? Yeah, no, I don't think that's happening. I don't think there's a way in this world for me to make that work, so I'm not going to bother. Take off our defensive fire stuff and routes. Now, in the route phase, I only have 2 guys broken that need to route. So this guy in F8 is going to low crawl to E9. Destination C8, but I just can't get it any other way. This guy in F4's destination has to be F1. But because of the machine gun, he can only go 1 hex at a time. So he's going to low crawl to F3, and then he'll be stuck there. Advances. Now in the advanced phase, I get to do some shenanigans. So let's see if I can get some fun going here. So these guys are going to just stack up. Over here, I do have options. So I could go back into the bunker and try to get something out of there. I think for the moment, I'm going to stack them both into D5 into the building. I think the building is going to offer me a little bit more safety, and I can try and pick up the LMG with 2 separate guys. Hopefully 2 will be enough. Kind of same here. If I could grab it with the second guy, that would be ideal. But unfortunately, we're not at that point. I don't think there's anything else for me to do here. So we'll go to CC phase. There's 1 CC, 1 to 2 down 1. And then a 1 to 1. Damn it. Always happens. So this will go away to reveal this guy. And then I got a 1. No, I didn't. So the MMG, I believe, is going to stay there. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Always losing my great leaders on melees and stuff. All right. So that is it for CC. We go to Norwegian turn 2. I almost said Danish there. Wind, no change. Go back to air support because I'm pretty sure it's just on the friendly turn. Yeah, his player's turns. So I don't get any extra tries at air support until it's the German turn 3. So we've already done weather. We've seen that yields no result. And now we get to do regular morale stuff, checks and all that, and take off our pins. So rally phase, this guy in E9 will retain. I believe F3 also retains because of this MMG. Technically, they're in open ground as well. And this guy I can't roll for, but he doesn't get DM'd, which is nice. And that is it. I can't recombine because recombining is not something you're allowed to do unless you have a leader. They automatically... you can. Why did I think you needed a leader? Okay, well, whatever. I will attempt to... Or no, wait. It's not an attempt. It's an automatic. So I will get these guys and these guys back. Split into 2 automatically reply. Is there sole action to squad, same type squad class with a friendly... come on. Why did I was too excited. I was too happy about it. Have to have a friendly leader. Exception if your Finns, guards, carrier half squads, unarmed half squads do not lead. So you could so if you're guards, why do guards get to do it for free? That sucks. You could split a guard and then go around and then recombine other people. That sucks. All right, well, didn't get to have fun there. But I will attempt to pick up this weapon. I do, which is great. So I get an LMG. And I will attempt to pick up twice. I will try with the 548 first. Don't get it. And then double sixes because, yep. All right. That's a bummer. I don't have any other attempts to do things. So we will go to prep fire. In the prep fire phase, this MMG and squad is going to take a shot at the 8. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? I will shoot at the other guy. It is a 7 on 6, which is a normal morale check, so he's fine. I did not get rate. That's a bit of a bummer. This squad, same idea. 2 flat. They will cower. But it is a 1 morale check. They are fine. I'm cowering saved that leader. Yeah, because otherwise that would have been a K result. Yep, and that potential for dying. This squad, an L7 is going to shoot at the guys in P4. That should be 5 range. Yeah, it's 5 range. It's an up 1. No. So I got to be very careful with this pillbox. I might actually run that... I can't run that guy out. Yeah, he might be stuck here, which is unfortunate, but I can't really do anything else. Squad in E5 is going to blast the guys in E9. Nope, they have tried. And I don't think I really have options here. I think a 2 firepower shot against the leader. 6 on 2 is a pentash check. He's fine. Yeah, because I think this guy in the pillbox is stuck there. I think this guy, same idea. Unless all the Germans around them break, you're not really getting out of the pillbox because you have to move out first, which really just sets you up for getting shot at and dying. Movement phase, everybody's moved. Defensive fire phase. The Germans finally have some options here, which is nice for them. However, the low range of the machine guns or not machine guns, but the regular fire really hurts them here. So with that in mind, I could do... Yeah, the 228 can't reach. So I think the smart play here is I'm going to try a 14 firepower up 5. No. Pretty sure that's nothing. Because that would be 13 on 14. Yeah, there's no way. But I think that's the only play I could really attempt here for the moment. Yeah, like this is 2.5 up 2. Okay. They don't. They do cower, but it's a 4. It's a 4 firepower. Jesus, or sorry, 4 on 1, which is a normal morale check. So L7 pin. No, wait, he's fine, and the squad's fine. Damn it. That almost. That could have been really nice. That's annoying. And then the squad over here in I2, I do have a same shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you know what? I will try a 5 up 2. 8. I kind of wish I'd done backwards, but I'm pretty sure 8 on 5 is a conditional task check. Okay, I mean, sure, they're fine. I don't think that was gonna really matter anyways, but yeah, kind of annoyed that I didn't roll the snake eyes on that one. Yeah, I think that's it. This MMG is kind of, I'm realizing is kind of, I should have probably put the MMG in L7, just because now I can't grab that gun without going around the wire. And while technically I could do it with L7, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then advance. And maybe I should have done that, but it is still risking a squad for no quote-unquote reason. Maybe I'll wait until these guys get into CC, and then I'll run the squad around. Either way, that's it for shots on both sides. We go to routes. F3 will continue to route, and then I believe the guy in E9 should be safe now to finally route all the way to C8 and be safe there. And I don't think there's anybody else broken that needs to route. Advances. No real reason to advance with anybody. I might start... Yeah, I think next turn I need this guy in I7, I think. Because he can cover some of the blind spot here. Or at least it feels like that's what I'll need to do. CC phase, none. So we go to German turn 3. We'll do weather first, no change. Then we'll do air support, and since it's turn 3 now, I will get air support. Now the important part is there anything here that's crazy? So yeah, so I get it. So in the next movement phase, they will come on board. So then, yeah, there's excuse me. There is other entry stuff that we don't normally see because normally it's just automatic and you get all of them. Okay, so turn 3 rally phase. I have one self rally I'm going to attempt to do. I will get it, which is really nice. And then this guy will lose his DM, and this guy stays the same because of the MMG. Although, no, I had to... that's a good question. I could have technically gone to G3. Ooh, wait, can I? I don't think I could. No, I can't. So this guy had to go there. Never mind. Excuse me. Yeah, if only this wasn't in... If this was in season, I'd be fine. Okay, so that's it for rally phase. Prep fire phase. Oh, sorry. God, I forgot to try and pick up with this guy. So the 548 first. 548 will get whatever. It's an LMG. Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else? No. Not for the moment. Okay, prep fire phase. Now, I have options here, and it's kind of a... Which do I try to go for? I think these two squads will be fine to pick out this. And I do want to try and bust them before these guys move in on this building. I think that's a necessary thing. This half squad, my plan is going to be to try and get into L5. So maybe I have the 548 shoot at this guy and then hope for the best. The guy with the machine gun, I think I'm going to try and get him to M3. Same idea. Get him to N4, N3, something, and try to get into, eventually into this section here. And then these leaders, this leader's going to have to go back and try to rally this guy. This leader is going to, um, maybe I try to get him to get the MMG. And then after he picks it up, go into the building. 9 morale, he should survive a lot of stress. So, yeah. I'm going to open up with D5 first against the guys in the pillbox, because that's kind of going to determine if I go real crazy with this. So there is a +5, but we are looking at 20 firepower this time. Pretty sure 15 on 20 is not a thing. Nope. Which is very unfortunate. I'm just getting really bad luck with that dice roll. 10 up 5. Same idea. I'm pretty sure there's nothing. 11 on 10 is not a thing. Real big bummer there. So maybe the half squad goes for the MMG. Movement phase. So in the movement phase, again, we have our air support. So upon map board entry, another air support die roll, single die, halved and then fractions rounded up, is made to determine the number of aircraft the player receives. So again, because it says the normal way, that's how I assume it works. And then presumably you would just like over concurrent turns you would put this stuff down. So they're on the board now. Yeah, maybe there's no entry thing to be done because entry also determines if they have bombs or not. But the scenario card specifically states that they don't have bomb. So maybe it's just that they maybe it's just random on when they enter the board. So the 2 fighter bombers are now on board. Movement phase. So in the movement phase, the 8-0 is going to lose CX. He's going to normal move to G3. I don't think I'm going to risk trying to get into this building yet. So I'm going to run the risk of the MMG shooting at the leader. They will cower, which now I'm really debating going into the building because it's cowered. It's a 6. It's cowered to 4. There's a -1 for non-assault movement, but it's open ground, so it's a pintash check. He's fine. I don't think I want anybody else shooting at him. I really don't think there's worth when there's other units to move. So we'll continue to G2 for 3 and then into F1 for 5. The squad with the LMG, like I said, will go 1, 2, 3, 4 into M3. Nobody can shoot at him. You know what? Yeah, maybe this guy... okay, so I need them to get their weapons back. So 1, 2, 4. I kind of dislike it because, you know, you're moving for no reason. But they will get a 3. When they get there, do I have anybody else to shoot at? This guy in K8 is going to shoot at him. So it's a 4 up 1. No. Bummer. I'll have to CX. Yeah. Okay, well, that's also a bummer. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. Yeah, that's doable. Or sorry, no, 1.5, 3.5. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that guy has got 3. Leader is going to lose his CX. I will move him into the woods for 2. And I have a real big choice of, do I shoot with these guys at P4 or do I shoot at J2? And I think I want to shoot at J2, but I don't know if I would really get anything out of it. 2 firepower up 1 potentially. You know what? No. And I don't feel too bad because same number against these guys would not do anything. So that guy gets in there for 2. 4. And then... Oh, no, wait. I can't. I shouldn't do that because there's a residual. So 3, 4, 6, I guess. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll take a subsequent at 2 flat. No. Well, I tried. I think those were worthwhile shots to make. And then movement phase, the final stuff here. So we're going to get really gutsy here. I'm going to send one half squad to E9. This guy is going to shoot just out of obligation because I don't think there's a reason not to. And it's considered open ground, so there's nothing else to get out of it. Like there's no worse thing. So 5 on 4, it's a 1 morale check against that half squad. They are fine. That sucks. So they are considered first fire, and there is a 2 residual there. This guy now goes over to F8. That will cost him 3.5 total. And then he will late CX to get into G9. And as soon as I got the cower on here, I knew that no matter what, if I was playing Rutan, if I was playing Rob, whatever, I would want to pressure that. So this guy's now kind of screwed. I am going to take the final protective shot because at the very least, I lose the MMG, and this squad can get out of there. But otherwise, I'm having an extra 3 half squads, and they might just die at a 2-1 or something. So yeah, I'm gonna take the final protective fire. They will cower again, and it's what are we looking at here? So it's halved. It's doubled halved. So 16-8. But it is down 2. It's on 6, so it's a 1 KIA. So this guy just goes away. And now the question is, how many times do I want to try this against them? And frankly, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? That gets a 2. This half squad moves into E10. I will take a subsequent. I think I'm allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm allowed because of the distance. They cower, so the 2 firepower goes down to 1, and then it's halved again for residual, so nothing happens. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Final protective. I'm very lucky. That will pin them, but it is down 2 on 8. So 5 on 8, 2 morale check. Yeah, they're broken and ELR'd, I think, because the ELR is 3. 2 morale check, yeah. So they're pinned, which then the question is, do I try to go in? One, 2, 3, 4. 2 down. Oh, right, there's an extra because I'm runway. I don't know if the runway applies on that, but screw it, might as well. Yeah, that's where they're screwed. So there is a 1. So down 3 is what I should have calculated for that one. So all right, so this guy breaks. The pin goes away. So does this. They heat a battle, which they will go berserk. Do they go berserk? Yes, they do. They go berserk. Oh, okay. That actually is the worst possible result for those guys. So these guys go berserk. And why this is really bad is because they now have 8 movement, and they've used 4, and the guys are next to them. So they will get to advance, and they are basically auto CC. And if they die, which is maybe not likely, but they're kind of screwed there. I don't need anybody else to go that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I can go here. Yeah, go here. This guy will... Oh, you know what? Yeah, I have to do that too. So 0. Because he's not back. Is there anybody else that has... I think that's the only guy after that. Yeah, there's this guy, there's that guy. Everybody else is... Well, maybe this... Yeah, this guy as well. Okay, that's it for movement. Pretty sure that's it for movement. Defensive fire phase, none. Because everybody's shot. We go to advanced fire phase. I have the Berserks, which will shoot a 3 firepower up 2. Nope. But you know what? Might as well try. Nobody else has any shots. Oh, whoops. 0. I'm happy, but I'm really annoyed that happened. So this guy gets to upgrade because he rolled a 1, which he needed. This guy will also get his guns back. I forgot to flip them. So he becomes a 238, back in regular form. Defensive, prep fires. Yeah, residual. Let's go away. And we do routes. In the route phase, this guy gets the low crawl back because he doesn't have any other options. This guy in F2 gets to go back to F1. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Advanced phase. You know what? Screw it. I need to make progress here and fast. So that's it for that advance. I'm gonna have this guy go here. You go pick up a gun. You can go into the building for some safety. And that's going to be it. CC phase. Now, I don't know. Is ambush an attempt on pillboxes? Or is it just if you're in the woods and you're in... any woods or with concealed? So yeah, I think it would just be... Yeah, okay, so you don't get to ambush guys in a pillbox because they're... unless it's a woods or building. Or somebody's concealed. Which kind of feels a little crappy, but whatever. Alright, what options do I try here? I've got 3 good options here. I'm going to try this pillbox first. It's a 10 to 4, so 2 to 1. Nothing, and then a 1 to 2 against a squad. Nothing. Alright, technically they're not in melee, but whatever. Over here, 1 to 1. Nope. And then a 1 to 2 will casualty reduce. That sucks. And then these guys are also in melee. And then over here, I have a 1 to 2 with the Berserk guys. And they're broken, so they're -2, I believe. There's a broken unit is -2. So I rolled a 7, which is, nope. Could they have technically routed away? Maybe. Shoot. They can't actually route anywhere without dying. Because in the route phase, they would have seen this guy. And they would then get closer if they were there. I guess technically they could have routed to J10. So I'll know for next time. They'll have to withdraw, but yeah, because I already rolled for them. If I'd remembered, I would have. Yeah, they could have gone to J10. Oh well, not the end of the world. Just a little annoying on my part for forgetting that. All right, turn 3 for the Norwegians. No change in weather. What do we got for rally phase? Did I roll for the guy in C8? I don't know. No, wait, I had other guys. Okay, so this guy can't rally. We've only basically got the one F1. He'll come back magically. It's pretty nice. And then I will try to pick up weapon. Yeah. MMG. DM'd, but nonetheless. And then pretty sure that's it. I'm going to take this MMG and just plop it down because they won't be able to pick it up anyways. Prep fire. Prep fire is interesting to consider here. I think... Okay, so stack in L7 is going to shoot at M4, so up 1. It's not coward because the leader's with them. So it's a 5-on-4, which is a 1 morale check. Leader's fine. Squad is fine, which is good for the Germans. This squad I might try to send at the Berserkers. Maybe that's the... but this guy can now... I would take 2 shots. Is that really worth it? No. I'm going to take a 4 flat against that guy. God damn. 2 morale check. Yeah, he broke. Elar's too. Now, he doesn't have to drop the MMG because it's not... it doesn't go over his portage, which is nice. But still shitty. Can these 2 guys see each other? Yes. Okay. That sucks. Alright, so well, that's the prep fires. Everybody else is in... Technically, everybody else is in melees and stuff, or CC, so they shouldn't be able to shoot. It's never same location, so I guess technically... Yeah, a pillbox is never same location, so I might still be able to get like these guys to shoot. Is there any point to it? No. This guy's shooting into his own melee. I don't do that. This guy could technically shoot at them. No. All right, doesn't matter. Mark up his prep fire just because, and that I think will be it for prep fire. Movement, I got no movement I want to do, or can do actually. So I think I'm going to, in the defensive fire phase, I'm going to open up with the fighter bombers. So I'm going to have the fighter bombers strafe. I actually don't know about the mechanics here, because can you strafe a blind location? I don't know. Strafing... I guess technically there's nothing that says that they can't. Yeah, I'm going to assume they can, because otherwise it's I'm going to have to search too many rules, and I've already done that a lot. So we're going to do sighting task checks. So O1 is going to go into P5. They are 4 hexes away from L7, and that's going to be their target. They do a task check. Yeah, that's not going to work. So they get a +3 for being in building. Brings it to an 11. And then there's nothing else. They are not... Oh, there's -2 because they're not entirely concealed. So it's a +1. But no matter what, that's going to be above their morale. So that just doesn't happen. And then I'm going to try the same thing with the other guy. And it's going to be the same result. Okay, hold on. That was a +1. Yeah, no. And that's a plus... Yeah, exact same numbers. Well, exact same numbers. Same final numbers, which just sucks. So those guys just don't attack. They're still in the air. They're still, ready to do stuff. They just don't see anybody. Defensive fire phase. Now, other defensive fire stuff. I will attempt a shot from M4 into the bunker. They're not considered the same location, so it's not... I'm not shooting the 238 at all. It's just this guy, because it's, again, different location. So, yeah, I will take an 8 firepower up 2 shot. 8-on-8 normal. They are pinned, which... Not what I wanted. Would have loved to break them, but... Alas. And I don't think I really have anything else. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes. This guy is going to low crop. These guys will back up 1. These guys are stuck in a melee, so I have to withdraw if I do anything with them. Advances. I just don't think that there's value in this guy trying to go over here. I think I'll just wait till the movement phase to try and get him. because I don't want to take even a 1 down 2 is not worthwhile, especially when I don't have that many more forces left. So I think I'm gonna risk it here. Over here, I'll do a 1-1 versus the Germans, and then a 1-2. Nothing happens. Because I'm pretty sure there's no modifier for being in a pillbox. You just shoot as normal. That'll get removed. We'll do this one. It's a 1-2 against a squad. Nothing happens. And then a 2-1 back. Again, nothing. Ridiculous. Over here, the broken unit will try to withdraw, because they're going to die if I don't try it. And they're broken. So it's a -4 to the German thing. So the Germans are 1-2. And then there'll be -4, which brings that to a 4. Sorry, 1-2. Yeah, they need a 4. That goes down to 4. So they will become a half squad, and they will get to withdraw to the next hex. Come on. You go over here, and then you go here, you go there. Now, I actually need to refresh myself on memory here. Does a Berserk unit count a casualty reduction as a kill? I don't know if that happens. Eliminates all. Yeah, so no. So yeah, maybe there would have... I mean, I do get to force them to move a hex, which is nice. So they'll get shot at by this guy. So yeah, there's some value there. I don't know if it's necessarily the right value that I wanted, but it's something. Turn 4 for the Germans. I'm running out of time here. Self-rally. I'm going to try the guy with the MMG. I will get him back. No, because that's 7. There's a +1. No, I will not, sadly. This guy can't. This guy can't. They both retain DM. Prep fire. In the prep fire phase, oh boy, I've got too many options here, and I don't like it. I'm going to try the 8+2. No. Oh, I should try to pick up the MMG. I do get the MMG. It's not going to matter much because they have to move anyways, but something to think about. Yeah, I guess I should have self-rallied this guy. Whatever. Yeah, movement phase. Berserk guy has to go first, so he'll... I guess technically they can't assault move. I don't think they're allowed to. So they move into I9. They will get shot at by this guy. It's a 4+1, so no. Real big bummer there. Other movement phase stuff. The squad in F1, or half squad in F1, will... You know what? They're going to CX together. They'll go to G1. Can anybody shoot at them? No. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this guy, that's 6. They're CX'd. Yeah. This half squad, I guess I'll throw him in there so I could be 3-1. It's kind of the only thing I can think of doing here. Yeah, I think that's it. L7, gonna shoot at M4, because why not? That will not succeed. I don't have any other shots to do. I mean, I guess that's not true. 4+1. No. I don't really have any shots with this guy. I guess I could do a 4 flat. 4 and 4. I think it's a 1 check. They are eliminated. Open my big mouth. Well, whatever. They were kind of doomed regardless, considering where they were. Yeah. Advanced fire phase. In the advanced fire phase, the berserkers with the MMG will take a shot. Triple halved. So they are using the machine gun. They get penalties for it, but they don't break or anything. They don't break it. I actually don't know. Does the captured use apply on captured equipment? Yeah, on the 2 hit. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, so it's a 6 on. I mean, it is a half squad, so 12. 6 on 6 is a 1 morale check. They will be eliminated. Just barely, but they are eliminated. So these guys lose their berserk status, which is kind of crazy. We'll mark them as prepped. That's it for advance. Routes in the route phase. In the route phase, do I have anybody that needs to route? No. Cool. Advances. You go in there. You go here to not get shot at anymore. And eventually I'll go in and try to get there. I forgot to take this guy's roll. It's a -6 up 1. So he is returned to his real status. And then this guy will go there to try and rally this MMG guy. He gets to go down to L3 now. I gotta get this MMG. I will put down a counter to state I have this building now, because I'm getting pretty close. MMG is really going to be useful to prevent these guys from doing anything, but I still need to get across, which is not necessarily ideal. Okay, let's try this one first. This, like I said, is a 3-to-1. That might just be a casualty reduction. 3-to-1 is an 8. You gotta be kidding me. I'm doing a 1-to-2. Actually, I'll do 2-to-1 against the half squad. And, yep. So, this guy is reduced. And the half squad that joined goes away. And then over here, the Germans will do 1-to-2. Didn't get it. And then a 2-to-1 back. Also not get it. These pillbox fights are going crazy here. Is there anything else? No, that's it for CC. Turn 4 for the Norwegians. Rally or weather. No change. Rallies. There's only one from... Okay, well, I'm going to use that as the rally. I hate when I press the wrong button. Unless I do this. That didn't matter. I would have gotten it. Cool. But yeah, real bummer. I hate when I roll the wrong one. But that is it for rallies. I really don't have any options here anymore. The fact that everybody else is kind of tied up. This guy has no shots anymore. This guy doesn't have any shots, although I guess technically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a 1-up-2 shot, which is not worth it. So I will do a 4-up-2, didn't get it, and a 4-up-1. Also didn't get it. Damn it. Movement phase, none. Defensive, I'm going to try Fighter Bomber again against L7. Task check. Mistaken attack. I will have them do a strafe against these guys. So they hit M4 first. Nothing happens because nothing can happen. Then they will do an IFT against L3. It's up 1 on 6, so that's a 8 on 6, which is a pin test check. Yeah, pin test check. They're fine. They then move to K3. Of course, it was better. 6 on 6 is a 1 morale check. Leader breaks. Squad's fine. So leader loses his morale, or 6. And then Fighter Bomber continues. And I believe on a mistaken attack, they get recalled automatic. Air support. What do we got here? Mistaken attack. And then does it say get recalled? I'm pretty sure. Oh, it doesn't say. So it's just a... Oh, no, sorry. I got an original 12. Hence, it recalls. But if it wasn't an original 12, they would stay there. Okay. So he gets recalled. Oops. Do that. And then 01 is going to try same thing. Yay, I get it. So he's going to shoot 6-up-2 at L7. That does affect even the prisoners. So that is a 7 on 6, which is a normal morale check. So, yeah, normal morale check. So I'll do Norwegians first and then the prisoners. So Norwegians, normal morale check. Okay. Is that Berserk? Allied minor +2. It's not surrender. Yeah, that guy goes Berserk. Morale check. He breaks, and that's after the Berserk check. So he's done. And then the prisoners are dead. Because normally you would break, but prisoners casualty reduce. That's how it works. Continue. There's no other shots because it's only 4 hexes. Right, one. Oh, I guess no. You know what? I do technically. I think I shoot my own guys there. It is a +2 on 7. It's an 8 Pentash check. They're fine. Are they fine? Yeah, they're fine. And then he sticks around. He goes over in the corner, and yeah, we have more shenanigans to worry about. So that guy's Berserk now. God, okay. That's unfortunate because he can see units and he has to. Ooh, he can technically go around, so he doesn't have to go through the wire, which is nice. I don't think he's allowed to rally because rally is good order and Berserk are not good order. Let me see here. Rally, good order, friendly leader, and Berserks are not good order. That sucks. Although, I guess that is true, I guess. So, the guy that was with them takes a normal task check. And he passes with no modifier. So, he goes Berserk 2. Which means he would have had 10 morale, so he doesn't break. So it's just those guys that go away. That sucks. I mean, they do have a turn where they're fine, but they're not. It's not going to stay that way. So those guys are going to run, and then they'll have to go to the nearest guy in hexes, which is going to be this guy, and they have to go around the wire, which means they're in a lot of open ground. They are screwed. Advanced fire phase, none. Yeah, none. Routes. In the route phase, I'm honestly just moving this guy back one. Do I even need to? No. Also, I'm going to assemble this because I didn't shoot with them, and I always forget that. So, yeah. You know what? Just to prevent both getting shot in case, I guess. I don't think it's going to happen, but whatever. Yeah, that's it for routes. Advances, man, advances. Berserks can't advance, so there's only this guy, and I don't need to get closer to this MMG. So maybe, and I can't move him back because then there's a turn where the Germans can shoot at the entire stack. I'm feeling the heat on being stuck on that area. So yeah, CC phase. I have better odds here. So 2-1, and then a 1-2. All right. So these Germans are kaput, and then over here it's a 1-4, and then a 5-1. That guy is finally dead. Now, important to look here. If they control 2 pillboxes, and I need to control 1 because of the balance, so I will have one guy throw himself into the pillbox. Unless I'm not allowed to do that. Because it's technically a separate location, but I think the same applies to foxholes. I'm going to be annoyed because I remember I talked with Rutan about who gets into a hex. Oh, so the foxhole doesn't create another location in the hex. Gotcha. Can you claim a pillbox? afterwards. Again, pretty sure I went over this with Rutan, but CC, if I just do CC. In and outside, CC not available. Unit can be attacked by any blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna say no because I do not think it does, and I'd rather, like I said, I don't remember what Rutan and I determined, and so I'm not gonna go and just say like I get it because that seems like it would be cheap. That is it for turn 4. We go to turn 5 for the Germans. Weather, no change. Okay. Rallies. I have 2 rallies to do. I'm going to do my self rally. I will not get it. I will do leader. Leader will get it. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, these guys now need to go even further for the... Okay, that sucks. That is a bummer. I don't have any other rally phase stuff to do, so I'm not going to bother. Prep fire phase. In the prep fire phase, I will attempt... That is a big old question, huh? I'll try a 4 up 2. 8 on 4 is nothing, unfortunately. I might have to ditch that at some point. I don't think... Is there any... I mean, they can shoot back. So, yada. Yada and yada. How do I do this? I mean... That is very important, actually. Okay. Okay, let's do this. In the movement phase, I'm going to have one of the 548s, the guy with the LMG, actually, is going to move to F5 for 1.5. I think these guys are the only ones that could potentially have a shot. And I think if I move one further, they won't have LOS. And this LOS is already dodgy. So I'm going to try it. And I'm going to regret things, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 down 2. Wow, that's clear. What are we looking at here? 3 on 2, 1 morale check. They are fine. All right. Well, there's some lucky die on both sides here. So I get there for 1.5, 3. I don't think that guy can see him. This pillbox is very tight. I don't know if they can see him. So I'll go to H6, and then I might as well, because I don't know what else he could shoot at. Yeah, it would have been blocked. So range 8, so it's a 2 down 2. 4 on 2 is another 1 check. 4 on 2 is another 1 check, and they pass. Again, some very lucky Germans here. So they get there for 4. This guy in E5 goes into the pillbox for 1, gets out for 2.5, and then 4? Did anybody shoot at him there? Yes. So 4. I don't think this guy can see him. So I will stay my hand here. I want these guys to run after these guys. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want them to do that. I am fine with them going after this guy with the LMG. So, leader and squad, we'll just do 1, 2, 4. Guy with the CX is going to lose CX and is going to assault move to L4. I will take that shot because he's the closest he can shoot at. It is a 2 down 1. Doesn't happen. Cool. Oh man, if I go there, they'd have to... I've got a lot of options to screw over the guys here. Now that was a 2 firepower shot, and then he cowered, so he's got even less. So I will have this guy go here for 2. I'm gonna have this squad shoot at him. It's a down 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's non-assault. No, it's a yeah, 4 firepower flat, so 3 on 4, 2 morale check. God damn it. Ah. Okay. 1, 2, and then he'll just stay there. This guy's shot. Yeah. That's a bummer. All right. That's it for movement. Defensive fire phase. Everybody's shot. I don't really have any other shots to do. Advanced fire phase. I don't have any to do. Routes. This guy's going to stay where he is. I don't have any other routes. Advances. So this half squad is going to go into L5. This leader's going to join. These guys are going to go there. You go into the building. And you go into the open. Yeah. That is plan. CC phase. I have 1 CC. Yeah, I have 1 CC. So over here, it is a 3-2. Down 1. Yes. And then a 1-2. Casualty reduction. Random selection. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Leader is wounded. Squad is halved. I will get the pillbox. I mean, I guess, like, there's no more pillbox guy, so that opens up a lot of territory, yada yada, but... Why? Why are the defenders getting so good at their CC phase? That's it for CC stuff and all that. Turn 5. Weather, no change. Rally, 1 to do. So the Germans... surprisingly, if they were not DM'd, I would have gotten that one. The leader is going to take the MMG because I think you can do it for free. Or is it during a movement phase? Sport weapons. Where's my sport weapons? Shenanigans here. Is it there? Random. Malfunction is not what I'm looking for. Where's recovery? Is recovery not in the same section? Recovery, A4.44. Only SMC by in the rally phase without need. But is it the only option? No. Or at least it doesn't sound like it would be limited by any action. You can just do it during the rally phase. So they will try and get the MMG, which is great. These guys will attempt to get the horse. They will not get that MMG. And that's it, really. There's no other option here. Prep fire. I have 1 prep fire, and I will do it against the guys in I-7. That's an up to 6. It's a normal morale check. They're pinned. Yeah. I don't have any other prep fires to do. Now, we go to movement phase. Oh, no. Oh, that's so bad for the Norwegians. I forgot about that. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man. I almost had a heart attack. Charge. So, berserkers. Berserkers have to charge the nearest in movement in hexes, not movement factors, known enemy unit in its LOS, and must, if it has sufficient movement factors, enter its location. Because you need to try and destroy it. If equidistant, the berserker gets to choose. If there's multiple berserk units, they move together as a combined stack. So the leader and squad have to move together. Yeah. All berserk units have 8 movement factors. We've been over this time and time again. Wounded still only have 3. Not worried there. A total of which can never be increased. A unit which becomes berserk while still moving gets their movement points increased, but not if they're wounded or whatever. They still have that. So yeah, it's just they go up to 8 minus whatever they've already used. So you really it's just about going up to 8. You can abandon a support weapon if you're carrying a support weapon, which they're not. And you can still use support weapons, yada yada. Berserks can't assault move. You can't advance. You can dash across a road. Runways don't count, if I remember correctly. It's got to be road. And the charging unit must take the shortest route in movement factors. And that's very important. In movement factors to its destination. Including the use of bypass and counting wire as one movement factor solely for the purposes of this calculation only. So you don't get to say, well, the wire could be whatever, so I get to go around. Basically, what this all means is that L7 basically suicide rushes into L6. They pay 1 to get there. This is a very big problem for them because, as you might have noticed, wire means they have to pay to get over it. And that counts as expenditure in their own hex while they're moving. So why this is a big problem is because, well, this squad will shoot 3 firepower down 3. That is leader directed because there's no reason why you wouldn't. But down 3, so 1 on 3 is a 1 KIA. We do random selection. The squad is dead. These guys are considered shot. Then, half squad, nothing to lose. 4 down 3. Okay, well, that solved that problem quite easily. Oops. That is it for movement. And if that hadn't worked, the fighter bomber would have gone in and hosed them. Again, didn't matter. So we go to defensive fire phase. I will have my fighter bomber declare against the last remaining guy. Task check. I'm pretty sure that will not do anything, which is unfortunate considering at least he did, he got into Berserk. So if anything, his contributions are far exceeding what he had done. So in a building, so +3. He's within 4 hexes of a non-hip friendly unit, so there's +1 there, so it's +4, and then -2 for not being entirely concealed. And yeah, that's it. So this will essentially go away because there's no more Norwegian turns after this one. So by virtue, like just by default, they'll just go away because they can't do any other shots. Now, the leader is going to. Do I do 2.5 up 2? No, I'll do 4.5. 4 up 2. That cowers to 2, but it is a 4 on 2, which is a 1 morale check. And they will pass. Very, very lucky, which is very unfortunate for the Germans. And then the pin guy will also take a shot, so it's 4 up 2. Okay, they cower. But it is a pin task check, which they're fine. Okay, well, I'm trying to get some good rolls here. If that guy wasn't pinned, that would be really good. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes, nobody needs to route, so nothing happens. And then in advances, I mean, what do you do for advances? I think advancing them to L7 makes the most sense. That's not true. I really need them in there. Yeah, I need them in K8. And then I gotta survive the storm here. So, pin goes away. We're on the last turn. Weather, no change. Rallies, I'll try a self-rally. I will get the self-rally, which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't get him anywhere, but at least I can run him. Try to get some advanced fire phase stuff out of him. Rally, don't get it. Pick up machine gun, I do get it. And does anybody else have anything to do? No. All right, so big question here is prep fire. Who shoots, who doesn't? And I think the answer here is going to be yeah, this is very unfortunate. I could technically run this guy to this building. And then opportunity fire, so it would be a 6 up 2. It's about as much as I can do with them. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on CX. Woof. How do I get these last buildings? That's true. Okay. I'm going to try a Hail Mary here. So this leader is going to 2.5 up 2 against that guy. Didn't get it, but that was very close. Actually, I have rate of... does rate of fire just go down by 1, or do you not get rate of fire, period? Oh, man. SMC... sustained fire cannot be used, yada yada yada. Wait, why does it... Okay, single bank counter usage. Does it just go down by 1? Loses DRM. If leader fires any other... Loses DRM that may otherwise... Yeah, it doesn't say... Okay, multiple rate of fire. Is there anything here? I don't see anything that says they can't. Yeah, I don't see anything that says they can't... that they lose rate of fire, which is interesting. I would have thought that it would at least go down by 1, but hey, he'll shoot again. And he'll get rate of fire again. Now that is a 7 on 2.5, which is nothing. And that will be it. Okay. So here's where I have a lot of terrible decisions to make here. So we go to movement phase, because I really have nothing else I can do here other than move. This guy's going to drop MMG, go to M6 for 1. I'm not going to shoot. 2, 3, I still don't think I have a shot, and then 4 into M8. Now, is it worth taking a shot? I guess. I don't know who else could get here necessarily. So I will take a 4 down 2 shot. That is a 4 on 4, which even if it's a 1 check, he's fine. So this building is now gone. The Germans will get it for sure. This half squad will assault move into the bunker. Because, I mean, I guess technically if I tried to do something cute, it's like I could do CX, go in for 1, out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I already have control of the building, and it doesn't really matter. Leader, just go 1, 2, 3, just to get into L5, but it doesn't mean anything. This half squad is going to drop the MMG. Ooh, do I want to drop the MMG? This is a very interesting question. Because I could attack... Oh, no, wait. No, it's not. No, it's not worth it. So I will assault move to J8. Big question here is whether or not I take a shot. I think I'm going to hold my fire, because if this guy, which I will want to move, but if this guy does anything, I can get him... I can kind of get him out of the way here. This guy's going to declare CX. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll give him a label here. The plowed grain is so dumb for still costing that stuff. 1. Yeah, and he's CX now. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I get him there for 4, it's still halved. It's the same value for... Yeah, whatever. I'll just keep him there. 1.5, 2.5. Yeah, I can't really... Unless I CX. Is it worthwhile to CX for an extra 1 on the shot? But then I get... Okay, well, we'll try it. 1.5, 2.5, 4.5. And then the guy with the LMG... actually, you know what? 4.5. Huzzah. Goes to J7. And then... I might as well. No. So that is a 2 residual. Really cowering, you should get worse penalty for that. But what do we got here? So it was a 4 firepower. It's doubled, halved. So back to 4, and then halved again. So there is a 1 residual. And then the guy with the LMG is just going to assault move. Takes a 1 down 1. Or is it whatever? Morale check. Even it, it can only be a 1 MC. So he's safe, surprisingly. I can't risk the final protective because if he breaks, it's game, and if he doesn't, I still have to force a close combat. So yeah, that's it for movement. There's no more defensive. Advanced fire phase. Now in the advanced fire phase, I'm going to have. Oh, I should do this guy. Does he get his stuff back? Yes. So this guy is now a 2 firepower. There's no point shooting with him. So I'm going to have all these guys shoot. So this is 2 firepower. This is 6. That's another 6. So 14 plus the LMG. Doubled halved. Yeah, 17 up 2. I will not get anything out of that one, which is very unfortunate. That's it for that. Routes, there's none. Yeah, okay. So I already control this building. We've done the math on this. I can advance anyways, so he'll get the building. This building already is mine. Oops. There. I will reclaim this building, or reclaim. I already have the building, so it doesn't matter. I've got this hex. I've got this hex. And then I will grab L7. So I have everything but this one. These guys will all jump in because I desperately need to get this. We'll go to CC phase. In the CC phase, there's an ambush chance. Germans, Norwegians. Fuck. Okay. Germans ambush because there's just 1 CX, so that will go up to 2. There's no modifier for the Norwegians. There's no lax units at all. Yeah. So the Germans get ambushed. They are at a 3-1, down 1. And that is game because they did not kill them. And this is the second time this has happened. That's crazy. I can't believe I've any other number. Jesus, the next 4 would have all been perfect. All right, well, that's a shame to lose 2 in a row like this. Or I guess technically win as the Norwegians twice in a row like this. Because that goes to a melee. It doesn't matter what the next roll is. Even if I done, yeah, like I would have been a 1-2 against a squad. I guess the CX changes that anyways. Whatever. Doesn't matter. What matters is the Germans needed to kill the squad in order to get control of the building. They did not. So that is game for Norwegians. So like I said, a little unfortunate that happened again. Because again, 2 scenarios in a row where the Norwegians survive on the last building. Now I only needed one of the pillboxes for the balance. If I'd taken it, which I mean, I think they should. I think they should get the balance considering how the victories seem to have gone. I do think that maybe it should just be the reduction should just be a building rather than a pillbox, because I don't think the pillboxes are the issue here. The Germans are going to randomly fall on the map anyways, so there's good chances that you'll be depending on what you select. I don't know why you wouldn't select, say, going on the upper side of the woods. Even on the lower side, it's not really the end of the world. Upper side just gives you more protection. And maybe if I was being smarter, I should have taken that so that these guys wouldn't have, my initial guys wouldn't have broken in open ground there. Obviously, you run the risk of, falling into the woods, so that's always dangerous, yada, yada, yada. I mean, there's an argument for K1, L1, M2, N2, O3 as well. Still same risks, and you do potentially land off board, but really small price to pay because you would advance. You would get in on the next turn or whatever. Um, since the wire needs to be on runway hexes, I don't think you really get around that. Like, I don't know what other options you would choose outside of, like, maybe this wire goes in J7 and this really becomes impenetrable. Have this wire in K6 go to M6, or even just straight. So maybe like M7. M7 I think is fine, but maybe this K6 goes to J7. Yeah. Or K6 goes to G9. Because it's fine if J7 is open. You get to have guys sneak in and out, maybe, to the building, reinforced. But yeah. Maybe the balance should be removing one building. Because pillboxes, again, I don't think that's going to be the difference maker. If it is, then I mean, I would love for someone to point that out, but I don't think in the playings that have been recorded, I don't think the pillbox is really the end drop here. Yeah, what do we have here in 2011? Wow, this came down to the wire almost literally. The pair drop was chaotic as expected. I had to spend a turn running around trying to get rearmed. After that, the stone buildings were really a pain. See, stone buildings. They're not stone buildings. They are wooden buildings. So whoever was playing this accidentally did not read SSR 3. And I think that is even a case in... Yeah, okay. So in the ASL news versions, some of the buildings retain stone construction. And I do agree that if you were playing the ASL news and you had some buildings stay stone, then yeah, the stone building's kind of crazy. I would not play this. I would not want to play this if they were stone buildings. So yeah, paratroopers were walking around trying to get rearmed. After that, stone buildings were really a pain. The fighter bombers did very little except on the last turn broke a squad. Luckily, the Norwegians had a squad go berserk, dying in the charge and leaving the building free with an MNG on the floor. I was also able to approach both pillboxes from LOS, winning the CC rolls. I made a huge mistake in the end. I could have moved an 8-1 leader into the final building that was in doubt. As it turns out, the -1 modifier would have mattered greatly in that I only rolled enough to have his squad. Yeah, okay. So basically the same situation that I was in where I failed on the last CC roll. If I had a -1 leader, if this guy hadn't been wounded, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even getting into the building for 6, I would have had the -1. That would have gotten me the victory there. Yeah, fun scenario. Honestly, the last two, this one and the other one with the landing the gliders on the runway, it's also fun. I think paratroop scenarios should be played more. I'm surprised this one has so few plays. I mean, 5 according to Roar data, and realistically, that's 3 have played the ASL News 16 version specifically, according to the archive, and the other 2 are just Roar data, which may be an amalgamation of all 5 versions of the scenario. It's hard to tell because Roar data is you have to rely on whoever is collating the Roar data and the scenario archive results to be the correct ones for both. So it's a little hard to determine if it's specifically that scenario that they're talking about. Either way, regardless of how you want to look at it, like I said, I think this is a very fun scenario. Despite having lost with paratroopers on just about every occasion, and I think gliders as well, I do think that both scenario types are very fun. They lend to a lot of chaotic patterns, so you can't... while it might not be... it is unlikely that the attackers will win, because gliders, like, they're not going to make it... they're not going to make it super easy for someone to play. I do think that the chaotic nature of the scenarios do lend themselves very well to having to figure out where exactly, like, how to approach a defense in a disorganized state. And I think that if the only way to really make scenarios like this one more accessible, I guess, or accessible is probably not the word, but more likely for an attacker to win, it's one of two factors have to be looked at. One, you reduce the number of support weapons with rate of fire. That's the biggest one I could suggest. It's a little crazy to suggest it, I will admit. Like maybe instead of two MMGs, the Norwegians get two LMGs. It's less firepower, they have less rate of fire, that sort of thing. Maybe give an SSR that the rate of fire is modified by -1. I don't know. That seems like it would just be annoying to have to track or remember. And the other thing is by making the victory objectives more tolerable for the Germans. Not always Germans specifically, but in paratroop landings. Why do I say this? Because, let's be honest, control of buildings gets to be really tough if you don't have troops, because your troops are dying in the paradrops, because they're dying in the injuries by landing into woods, by being broken multiple times when they don't technically exist on board, they're just parachutes, that sort of thing. I think if I was to change this scenario, if it's not a reduce the requirements for buildings, then make it so that the Norwegians have to be good order, because I think that is also it's also really crappy that you can have a 2.5 squad advantage or 1.5 squad advantage versus the Norwegians, but because they sustained their good order, or they stayed alive, I should say, not sustained good order, but because they stayed alive, they get to excuse themselves from any sort of penalty, especially when they have 4 firepower and you don't have a firepower lead necessarily from all your squads. Like the 548s, they're nice, but they have to survive. You have to recombine them, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's how I think I would look at it. Is it's really nice to have paratrooper landings. I just think that the balance for them should be looked at a little bit more stringently, because it's really tough for paratroop gliders. We haven't really done seaborne invasion yet. We've done one of them, maybe 2, and those ones are also pretty tough. So yeah. Anyways, fun. I would recommend this scenario. I think I would probably look at the second ASL News version. I did want to speak on this just really, really quickly. Again, ASL News 16 has the scenario where, again, there's 4 buildings that are stone. So K8, I9 is stone, K8 is stone, L7 is stone, and so is L5. I think that's a little crazy for these 4 to be stone buildings. Because the Germans don't have the firepower to break through. They have 1 MMG. You have to hope you capture another MMG, maybe. Yeah, busting through stone sucks. I hate it. And if I don't get DCs or flamethrowers, I think I'm just gonna be more and more grumpy as time goes on, having to try to push through. The second version of ASL of this scenario by ASL News, they call it 16 bis or number 56. I'm sure you can find the ASL News scenarios somewhere on the net for free. It's a defunct group anyways, and they've been defunct for, I don't know, probably like almost 30 years at that point, if not more. Honestly, the only difference is that the buildings are wooden. I don't know if there's any other differences here, both in terms of unit numbers, unit quality. The German paratroopers look to be the same. The Norwegians are the same. Fighter bombers still come in. They have no modifier. Maybe I think the only thing that I could see worthwhile changing is maybe putting some snipers down. That'd be kind of cool to put snipers. I don't know why there's none, but that's about it. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. I should have a game on Monday with Rob. Not sure if that's going to happen, but hopefully it will. Looking forward to it. And if not, it'll just be another solo night, and then back with Rootin' on next Saturday. Before I leave, I do want to thank this person.
Stick to me like glue. Keep your eyes open.
Thank you, Liquid Gin, for the follow. I think there was a follow on YouTube, but I don't know if it popped up or anything. So as always, thank you for following, thank you for watching, thank you for anybody who is in chat, whether you lurk or not. If anybody, as always, ever has questions about ASL, and you toss me a line either here on Discord, YouTube, wherever, and hopefully I can answer that. And if there's any other cool projects out there that you think are worthwhile, let me know. Maybe I'll see if I can. I'll see about boosting them as well, because I think everybody can appreciate ASL and appreciate more ASL as there's always more and more content that comes out. So until Monday, have a lovely weekend. Bye.